Hunter Killer is a 2018 American action thriller film starring Gerard Butler and Gary Oldman. Based on the 2012 novel Firing Point by Don Keith and George Wallace, the film follows a submarine crew and a group of United States Navy SEALs who rescue the captured Russian president from a coup. Directed by Donovan Marsh and written by Arne Schmidt and Jamie Moss, it features Michael Nyqvist in his penultimate film role, Common, Linda Cardellini and Toby Stephens in supporting roles. Hunter Killer was released in the United States on October 26, 2018, by Summit Premiere. The film bombed at the box office and received mixed reviews from critics, who saw it as an undemanding, by-the-numbers actioner. 4. Plot. The U.S. Los Angeles-class submarine USS Tampa Bay disappears while shadowing the Russian Akula-class submarine RFS Konek in the Barents Sea. Rear Admiral John Fisk orders the newly promoted and unconventional Commander Joe Glass to lead the investigation on board the Virginia-class submarine USS Arkansas. At the same time, Lieutenant Bill Beeman leads a Navy SEAL team on a covert mission to observe a Russian naval base in Polyarny, Murmansk Oblast. At the base, the SEALs witness Defense Minister Admiral of the Fleet Dmitry Durov staging a coup d'état and capturing Russian President Nikolai Zakharin. They quickly realize that Durov's intention is to instigate a war. The SEALs narrowly avoid detection during a radio intercept check by the Russians, but Martinelli is shot in the leg by a Russian officer who blindly fires at their concealed position. Consequently, the team is forced to leave him behind. Meanwhile, Arkansas makes a distressing discovery as they come across the wreckage of Tampa Bay, with no survivors found. Additionally, they stumble upon the sunken Russian submarine Konek, which appears to have been damaged from within, indicating possible internal sabotage rather than an external attack. Their situation takes a turn for the worse when they are ambushed by another Russian submarine, the Akula-class submarine RFS Volkov, which had been concealed beneath an iceberg. It becomes evident that Volkov was responsible for the unprovoked torpedoing of Tampa Bay. However, Arkansas manages to retaliate and successfully rescues the Russian survivors from Konek, including their commanding officer, Captain 2nd Rank Sergei Andropov. The U.S. government uncovers the coup, leading Admiral Charles Donegan to recommend war preparations. However, Fisk suggests that Arkansas should rendezvous with Beeman's team once they rescue Zakharin. Glass persuades the hesitant Andropov to provide assistance and must also convince his crew to accept Andropov's presence and trust him. Utilizing Andropov's expertise in navigating the challenging underwater terrain and the minefield guarding the base, Glass successfully guides Arkansas near the base undetected. Beeman's team manages to save Oleg, an agent of the Russian Presidential Security Service, who was previously shot while protecting Zakharin by Durov's men. They work together to infiltrate the base and successfully retrieve President Zakharin, but lose Oleg, Devon Hall, and Matt Johnstone in the process. With Martinelli providing sniper cover, Beeman brings the injured president to Arkansas's deep submergence rescue vehicle and then returns alone to rescue Martinelli. As the U.S. and Russian fleets prepare for battle, Arkansas suffers more damage when it is attacked by the Udaloy-class destroyer RFS Yevchenko, Andropov's old ship, which is now under the command of Captain Vilayt Sutrev, a member of Durov's conspiracy. However, Andropov manages to convey a message to the Yevchenko that President Zakharin is on board the submarine. When Durov instructs his forces at the base to fire missiles at the surfaced Arkansas, Glass refuses to take action, realizing that retaliating could initiate the war he is trying to prevent. In the final moments, Andropov's former crew disobey orders and successfully destroy the incoming missiles with their close-in weapons system before they can hit the Arkansas. They then proceed to destroy the naval base headquarters with their own missiles, killing Durov. With the war avoided, Glass docks the Arkansas at the Russian naval base to return Zakharin and the surviving Konek crew members to their country. The Arkansas picks up Beeman and Martinelli and leaves Polyarny, escorted by the Russian Navy. Cast: Gerard Butler as Commander Joe Glass, Captain USS Arkansas. Gary Oldman as CJCS Charles Donegan. Common as RADM John Fisk. Michael Nyqvist as Captain Andropov, RFS Connect. Linda Cardellini as Jane Norquist, National Security Agency. David Gyasi as Cobb Wallach, USS Arkansas. Shane Taylor as TMC Turner, USS Arkansas. Sarah Middleton as Liddy, Radio Operator, USS Arkansas. Gabriel Chavarria as Jimenez, DSRV Pilot, USS Arkansas. Ryan McPartlin as Matt Johnstone, U.S. Navy SEAL. Carter McIntyre as LT. Commander Brian Edwards, XO USS Arkansas. Zane Holds as Paul Martinelli, U.S. Navy SEAL. Taylor John Smith as Belford, ST, USS Arkansas. Michael Trucco as Devin Hall, U.S. Navy SEAL. Michael Gore as Admiral Dmitry Durov, Minister of Defense. Alexander Dyachenko as President Zakharin. Igor Jijikin as Treshik, Russian Special Forces. Yuri Kolokonikov as Oleg, Presidential Security. Ilya Volok as Captain Vlad Sutriv, RFS Yevchenko. Caroline Goodall as President Dover. Toby Stevens as Bill Beeman, U.S. Navy SEAL. Christopher Go as Navigator Park, USS Arkansas. Production. Relativity Media first purchased the spec script, written by Arne Schmidt and adapted from the novel Firing Point, in 2008. Pierre Morel was in talks to direct. 5 In February 2011, Variety reported that Philip Noyce was hired to direct the film. John Kalvenbach and Jamie Moss provided rewrites to the script, the latter's rewrites was what interested Noyce to direct. 6 Production was set to begin at the end of the year before Noyce left the project, citing similarities between other films that he previously helmed, and moved on to films like Above Suspicion. 7 Antoine Fuqua was later hired to replace him, and a release date was set for December 21, 2012. 8 Gerard Butler was cast as Joe Glass and Sam Worthington was considered for Bill Beeman. 9 Fuqua and Butler later left production to work on Olympus Has Fallen, and the film remained in development hell as directors like Mick G. and Stephen Quayle passed on the film. 10-11 Gerard Butler eventually returned to the film as Martin Campbell was chosen to direct. Common, Billy Bob Thornton, and Willem Dafoe were added to the cast, and Peter Craig provided uncredited rewrites. 12-13-14. On November 12, 2015, it was announced that a deal between producers of the film had been made, that Relativity, Neil H. Moritz, and Toby Jaffe's original film would now produce the film along with Millennium Films, which would also co-finance and distribute. 15 On March 3, 2016, it was announced that Donovan Marsh would direct the film and Gerard Butler and Gary Oldman would star, with original films Neil H. Moritz and Toby Jaffe producing the film along with Butler, Thule Productions' Tucker Thule, Alan Siegel, and Millennium's Mark Gill, John Thompson, Matt O'Toole and Leigh Weldon. 16 On June 23, 2016, Taylor John Smith was cast in the film to play a sonar man on the sub. 17 On July 6, 2016, Gabriel Chavarria joined the film to play a Navy SEAL aboard the U.S. submarine 18. Next day, Zane Holds also joined the film to play Martinelli, a brave and skilled member of the elite unit. 19 On July 13, 2016, Michael Trucco and Ryan McPartlin also came aboard to play a weapons specialist Devin Hall, and an ex-SEAL and CIA medic Matt Johnstone, respectively. 20 On July 19, 2016, Michael Nyqvist was added to the cast to play Captain Sergei Andropov. 21 On July 21, 2016, David Gyasi joined the film to play the chief of the boat of the submarine USS Omaha 22 with Toby Stevens cast to play LT Beeman, head of the Black Ops Squad. 23 On August 4, 2016, Linda Cardellini joined the cast. 24. Principal photography on the film began on July 25, 2016, in London, and in Bulgaria. 1625 interior sets of a Virginia-class hunter-killer submarine were built at Ealing Studios, using blueprints approved by the U.S. Navy, with the spaces expanded slightly to allow freer camera movement. The sets were mounted on a gimbal to simulate the movement of the sea. Ealing also hosted a Pentagon set from where U.S. military personnel tracked the submarine action. The former Legal and General Building in Kingswood, Surrey, UK was also utilized as a part of the Pentagon. Although the heroes of the movie are portrayed as U.S. Navy SEALs, the costuming department for the movie used commercially available uniforms in ATAC's FG Camouflage 26, which is not a pattern in use by the U.S. Navy. 27. An exterior set of the main hunter-killer submarine was built in Pinewood Studios' 806,000-gallon exterior water tank, while underwater scenes were shot using a separate water tank at Warner Brothers Studios, Leavesden, also just outside London. Interiors of the Russian base were built as sets at New Boyana Film Studios in Bulgarian capital, Sofia. 28. Release. The film was released in the United States on October 26, 2018, by Lionsgate through the Summit Premiere label. It was released in several territories, including the United Kingdom, the week before on October 19, 2018. 29. In Ukraine, the film was scheduled to premiere on October 25, but the Ukraine Ministry of Culture denied it an exhibition license based on a 2012 law on cinematography that banned the distribution and screening of films, the goal of which is to popularize the bodies of an aggressor state and/or Soviet state security organs. According to a representative of the Ukrainian State Film Agency, Držkino, screening the film would be illegal because it contains a positive image of the Russian president and admiral of the Russian army. 30. Ukrainian-Russian relations have deteriorated since the 2014 Russian annexation of Crimea. 31. In Russia, the film was scheduled to premiere on November 1, but the film failed to obtain an exhibition license from the Culture Ministry. 31. The ministry stated that the copy of the movie submitted by the distributor for review was of poor quality and the replacement was submitted too late for the ministry to review it in time. 31. Home media. Hunter Killer was released on digital on January 15, 2019, and on Ultra HD Blu-ray and DVD on January 29, 2019, by Lionsgate Home Entertainment. 32. Reception. Box office. Hunter Killer grossed $15.8 million in the United States and Canada, and $15.9 million in other territories, for a total worldwide gross of $31.7 million. 2-3. In the United States and Canada, Hunter Killer was released alongside Indivisible and Johnny English Strikes Again, and was projected to gross $5 to $9 million from 2,720 theaters in its opening weekend. 33. The film made $2.6 million on its first day, including $420,000 from Thursday night previews. 34. It went on to debut to $6.7 million, finishing 5th at the box office and marking the worst debut for Butler since Playing for Keeps, $5.8 million, in 2012. 1. The film made $3.5 million in its second weekend, falling to 9th. 35. Critical response. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 38% based on 115 reviews, with an average score of 4.7/10. The website's critical consensus reads, much like the submarine in its story, Hunter Killer cruises the murky action depths, following a perfunctory course into territory that's been charted many times before. 36. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 43 out of 100, based on 28 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 37. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of A on an A+ to F scale, while post-track reported filmgoers gave it 4 out of 5 stars. 1. Bill Jebari of VULTour.com wrote, Hunter Killer won't win any awards for originality, but it may win a couple for the brazenness with which it stacks cliches upon cliches. Basically, It's Crimson Tide meets Lone Survivor meets Under Siege meets a Russian variation on Olympus Has Fallen, with a bit of Geostorm thrown in. At least 3 of those movies are pretty good, so the overall math works in the film's favor. 38. Norman Wilner of Toronto's now accused Marsh of ripping off John McTiernan's The Hunt for Red October and stated that the constant agitation and bone-deep respect for all things military is straight out of Clancy's playbook, but there's no Jack Ryan figure to humanize it all. Gerard James Butler, born November 13, 1969, is a Scottish actor and film producer. After studying law, he turned to acting in the mid-1990s with small roles in productions such as Mrs. Brown, 1997, the James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies, 1997, and Tale of the Mummy, 1998. In 2000, he starred as Count Dracula in the gothic horror film Dracula 2000. He played Attila the Hun in the miniseries Attila, 2001, then appeared in the films Reign of Fire, 2002, and Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, 2003, before starring in the science fiction film Timeline, 2003. He played Eric, the Phantom in Joel Schumacher's 2004 musical The Phantom of the Opera. Butler gained wider recognition for his portrayal of King Leonidas in Zack Snyder's fantasy war film 300, 2006. In 2010, he began lending his voice to the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. Also in the 2010s, he portrayed a Secret Service agent in the action thriller Has Fallen film series. Played military leader Tullus Aufidius in the 2011 film Coriolanus, and Sam Childers in the 2011 action biopic Machine Gun Preacher. Butler had further action film roles in Geostorm, 2017, Den of Thieves, 2018, Greenland, 2020, and Plane, 2023. Early life. Gerard James Butler II was born in Paisley, Scotland on November 13, 1969, the youngest of 3 children of Margaret and Edward Butler, a bookmaker. 456 His family, which is Catholic, is of Irish descent. 7-8 His family moved to Montreal, Quebec, Canada, when he was 6 months old. 9-10 A year later, when his parents' marriage broke down, his mother left Montreal and returned to Scotland with Butler. 11. Butler was head boy at St. Mirren's and St. Margaret's High School in Paisley and won a place at University of Glasgow School of Law. 12-13 He also attended Scottish Youth Theatre while a teenager. He did not see his father again until he was 16, when Edward Butler called to meet him at a Glasgow restaurant. After the meeting, Butler cried for hours, and recalled later, "That emotion showed me how much pain can sit in this body of yours, pain and sorrow that you don't know you have until it is unleashed." 11. As a student, he was the president of the University Law Society. 14 A position he later said he kind of blagged my way into. 3 When Butler was 22, his father was diagnosed with cancer and died. He said of this period in his life, "I had gone from a 16-year-old who couldn't wait to grasp life to a 22-year-old who didn't care if he died in his sleep." 15. Before his final year of law school, Butler took a year off to live in California, mostly in Venice Beach, where he held different jobs, traveled often, and, he says, drank heavily. At one point he was arrested for alcohol-related disorderly conduct. Describing his behavior during that year, he recalled, "I was out of control, and justifying it with this idea that I'm young, this is life. This is me just being boisterous." After his time off in America, he returned to Scotland to finish his final year at law school. 3. He had ear surgery as a child that left him with a mangled ear. He still suffers from tinnitus and has hearing loss in his right ear. 16. Career. Legal career and early acting career. Upon graduation, he took a position as a trainee lawyer at an Edinburgh law firm. However, he continued to stay out late drinking and frequently missed work. 1 week before he qualified as a lawyer, he was fired. At the age of 25, and an unqualified lawyer, he moved to London to pursue his dream of becoming famous. He admitted, "When I started out, I'm not sure I was actually in it for the right reasons. I wanted very much to be famous." 11. Initially unable to win any acting roles, he worked in a variety of jobs including as a waiter, a telemarketer, and a toy demonstrator at fairs. In London, he met an old friend from his teenage days in the Scottish Youth Theatre, who was now a London casting director. At that time, he was her boyfriend and her assistant. She took him to an audition for Steven Berkoff's play of Coriolanus. 14. The director said of Butler's audition, when he read, "He had such vigor and enthusiasm, so much that it made the other actors seem limp, that I decided to cast him in the ensemble." 15. Then aged 27, Butler had his first professional acting job. Less than a year later, he won a part in a theatre adaptation of Trainspotting at the Edinburgh Festival. At age 30, he decided to move to Los Angeles, where he won parts in Dracula 2000, Tomb Raider 2, Dear Frankie, and Phantom of the Opera. 15. Acting career. Butler at the 2011 Berlin Film Festival. In London, Butler had various odd jobs until being cast by actor and director Steven Berkoff, who later appeared alongside him in Attila, 2001, in a stage production of Coriolanus. He was cast as Ewan McGregor's character Renton in the stage adaptation of Trainspotting, the same play that had inspired him to become an actor. 17. His film debut was as Billy Connolly's character's younger brother in Mrs. Brown, 1997. 18. His film career continued with small roles, first in the James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies, 1997, 17, and then Russell Mulcahy's Tale of the Mummy, 1998. In 2000, Butler was cast in two breakthrough roles, the first being Attila the Hun in the American TV miniseries Attila, 2001. The film's producers wanted a known actor to play the part but eventually chose Butler. 19. He was cast as Dracula in Dracula 2000, 20. He then appeared in Reign of Fire, 2002, 21 as Creedy and Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, 2003, as Terry Sheridan, alongside Angelina Jolie. In the role of Andre Merrick in the big screen adaptation of Michael Crichton's novel Timeline, 2003, 22, Butler played an archaeologist who was sent back in time with a team of students to rescue a colleague. In 2003, director Joel Schumacher was deciding on the principal casting for the film The Phantom of the Opera, a film adaptation of the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical of the same name, and thought of Butler, whom he had seen earlier in the film Dracula 2000, to play the title character. Butler, who had had no musical experience other than singing in a rock band while he was studying to be a lawyer, was surprised at the interest, but immediately began taking singing lessons with a vocal coach. 23. He then did an acting audition with Schumacher, and a singing audition with Lloyd Webber, both of whom were impressed by his performance. 24. The film, and Butler's performance, received mixed reviews, though Butler was nominated for a Satellite Award for Best Actor. Citation needed. Other projects that followed include Dear Frankie, 2005, The Game of Their Lives, 2005, and Beowulf and Grendel, 2005. 25. In 2006, he starred as Spartan King Leonidas in the Warner Brothers production 300, which is often described as his breakthrough role. 26. Butler, who said he wanted to look really strong in the film, trained with a high-intensity workout for 4 months prior to the film's shooting. 27. In 2007, he appeared in Butterfly on a Will co-starring Pierce Brosnan and Maria Bello, which aired on network TV under the title Shattered 28, and in the romantic comedy P.S. I Love You with Hilary Swank. 29. In 2008, he appeared in Nims Island and Rock'n'Rolla. In 2009, he starred in the Neveldine/Taylor film Gamer, The Ugly Truth 30 and Law Abiding Citizen, which he also co-produced. 31 In 2010 he starred in the action/comedy The Bounty Hunter with Jennifer Aniston. 32 And did voice acting for the 2010 animated film How to Train Your Dragon as Stoic the Vest. 33. Butler in 2013. On 15 and October 16, 2010, thanks to the popularity of his role as Spartan King Leonidas and the use of his lines during athletic events at Michigan State University, he was a guest at their Midnight Madness and Homecoming American football game. 34. As of August 2011, Butler, while filming Playing for Keeps, was writing songs and in the process of recording an album. 35. He disavowed gossip reports that Marilyn Manson and Johnny Depp had advised him on the project. 36. On December 18 that year, while filming Chasing Mavericks, Butler was hospitalized after he was pulled under big waves. Subsequently, he was taken to Stanford University Medical Center and later released. 37. Butler starred as Secret Service agent Mike Banning in the action thriller Olympus Has Fallen, 2013, opposite co-stars Aaron Eckhart and Morgan Freeman. He said he broke 2 bones in his neck while shooting the film, but did not realize this until he had an MRI scan. 38. Butler reprised his voice role as Stoic in How to Train Your Dragon 2 in 2014. 2 years later, he reprised his role as Mike Banning in the Olympus Has Fallen sequel London Has Fallen and also portrayed set in Gods of Egypt. Late in 2018, Butler starred as Submarine Captain Commander Joe Glass of the USS Arkansas, a Virginia-class nuclear submarine, in the film Hunter Killer. He starred as Mike Banning again in the 2019 film Angel Has Fallen and returned as the voice of Stoic in How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, which was released the same year. After release delays due to COVID-19, Butler starred in Greenland in 2020. In January 2024, Butler was announced to reprise his role as Stoic in the live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon, which was released in 2025. 39. He has been a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in the Actors Branch since 2011. 41. Personal life. Since October 2011, Butler has divided his time between Los Angeles and Glasgow. 42. In 2011, he was rushed to the Stanford University Medical Center after suffering a surfing incident in Mavericks, California, during the filming of Chasing Mavericks. 43. He was stable and released from the hospital later that week. 44. Butler stated in an interview that he no longer drinks alcohol. 45. In February 2012, it was announced that he had completed a course of treatment for substance abuse of painkillers at a rehabilitation facility. 46. He was concerned he had become too reliant on prescribed pain medication, which escalated after his surfing accident. 46. In 2011, Butler played in a charity match for Celtic FC, a football club he has supported since childhood. 42. A year later he represented Celtic in a Hollywood film, starring as a has-been player in Playing for Keeps. 47. He is also a supporter of Scotland Rugby and has even been involved with promotional videos for the side including for the 2023 Rugby World Cup. 48. In August 2013, he bought an equity stake in the Jamaica Talawas cricket team, part of the Limassol Caribbean Premier League, CPL. 49. He has supported the charity Mary's Meals since 2010. 50. He visited the International Development Charities Program in Liberia in 2014. 51. In 2018, he attended a fundraiser gala organized by Friends of the Israel Defense Forces, which raised $60 million. 52. In November 2018, Butler's home was destroyed in the Woolsey fire in California. Sir Gary Leonard Oldman, born March 21, 1958, is an English actor and filmmaker. Known for his versatility and intense acting style, he has received various accolades, including an Academy Award, a Golden Globe Award, 3 British Academy Film Awards and nominations for 3 Primetime Emmy Awards. His films have grossed over $11 billion worldwide, making him one of the highest-grossing actors of all time. 1. Oldman began acting in theater in 1979 and made his film debut in Remembrance, 1982. He appeared in the Royal Court Theatre in London and was a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company, with credits including Cabaret, Romeo and Juliet, entertaining Mr. Sloane, Saved, The Country Wife and Hamlet. He rose to prominence in British film with his portrayals of Sid Vicious in Sid and Nancy, 1986, Joe Orton in Prick Up Your Ears, 1987, and Rosencrantz in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, 1990. Regarded as a member of the Brit-Pack, 2, he achieved greater recognition as an American gangster in State of Grace, 1990, Lee Harvey Oswald in JFK, 1991, and Count Dracula in Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992. Oldman portrayed villainous roles in True Romance, 1993, Leon, The Professional, 1994, The Fifth Element, 1997, Air Force One, 1997, and The Contender, 2000. He has also played franchise roles such as Sirius Black in the Harry Potter series, 2004 to 2011, James Gordon in the Dark Knight trilogy, 2005 to 2012, Lord Shen in Kung Fu Panda 2, 2011, and Dreyfus in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, 2014. He won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his role as Sir Winston Churchill in the historical drama Darkest Hour, 2017. He was nominated for an Academy Award for his portrayals of George Smiley in the thriller Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, 2011, and Herman J. Mankiewicz in the drama Mank, 2020. Oldman also wrote and directed the film Nil by Mouth, 1997. He starred in the BBC television film The Firm, 1989. Since 2022 he has starred as Jackson Lamb, a cantankerous British spy, in the Apple TV Plus thriller series Slow Horses, a role for which he was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series. He also earned an Emmy nomination for his guest role as an inebriated actor on the NBC sitcom Friends in 2001. He has also acted in music videos for David Bowie, Guns N' Roses and Annie Lennox. He was made a Knight Bachelor by King Charles III in the 2025 birthday honors. Early life and education. Gary Leonard Oldman III was born in New Cross, London, on March 21, 1958, the son of Leonard Bertram Oldman, 1921–1985, a former sailor who also worked as a welder, and Kathleen, née Sheridan, 1919–2018. 6. He said his father was an alcoholic who left the family when Oldman was 7 years old. 7. His older sister, Maureen, is an actress better known as Lila Morse. She performed in Oldman's directorial debut Nil by Mouth, 1997, before taking on her most famous role of M.O. Harris in the BBC soap opera EastEnders. 8. Oldman attended West Greenwich School in Deptford, leaving at the age of 16 to work in a sports shop. 9. He played piano as a child, but he gave up his musical aspirations to pursue an acting career after seeing Malcolm McDowell's performance in the film The Raging Moon, 1971. 10, 11, 12. In a 1995 interview with Charlie Rose he said, "Something about Malcolm just arrested me, and I connected, and I said, I want to do that." 10. Growing up in South London, Oldman supported his local football club, Millwall, but also followed Manchester United because he idolized George Best. 8. In 2011 he learned from his mother that his father had played for Millwall just after the Second World War. Just after the war, my mother ran a boarding house for football players, Millwall players. And I knew that my dad was involved somehow with the reserve team. But 2 weeks ago my mum said, "Oh yeah, your dad played for Millwall." When he was young he had a couple of first-team games. 8. Oldman studied with the Young People's Theatre in Greenwich during the mid-1970s 6-13 while working jobs on assembly lines, as a porter in an operating theatre, selling shoes, and beheading pigs in an abattoir. 6. He applied unsuccessfully to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA, which welcomed him to try again the following year, but advised him to find something else to do for a living. 6:10 When asked by Rose whether he had reminded the RADA of this, Oldman joked that the work speaks for itself. 10. Oldman won a scholarship to attend Rose Bruford College in Sidcup, southeast London, from which he graduated with a BA in acting in 1979. 6:13 He described himself as a shy but diligent worker during his time there, performing roles such as Puck in William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. 14. Career 1979 to 1985, early roles and theater work. After leaving drama school, Oldman was the first in his year to receive professional work. 14 He stated that this was not a result of being the most talented actor, but rather diligence and application. 14-15 In 1979 he starred in The Ark, opposite Annette Kerr, at York Theatre Royal. 16 Subsequent plays included Cabaret, Privates on Parade and Romeo and Juliet. 17 In December 1979 Oldman appeared as Puss in Dick Whittington and His Cat, staged at York. 18 He also acted in Colchester, then with the Citizens Theatre in Glasgow. 6 Oldman's work ethic and trademark intensity would make him a favorite with audiences in Glasgow during the 1980s. He also toured Europe and South America with the Citizens Theatre Company. 13. From 1980 to 1981 Oldman appeared in The Massacre at Paris, Christopher Marlowe, Desperado Corner, Sean Lawton, and Robert David MacDonald's plays Chinchilla and A Waste of Time. He performed in a 6-month West End run of MacDonald's Summit Conference, opposite Glenda Jackson, in 1982. 6 Also that year, Oldman made his film debut in Colin Gregg's Remembrance, and would have starred in Don Boyd's Gossip if that film had not collapsed. The following year, he landed a starring role as a skinhead in Mike Leigh's film Meantime, and moved on to Chesterfield to assume the lead role in entertaining Mr. Sloane, Joe Orton. He then went to Westcliff to star in Saved, Edward Bond. 6. Saved proved to be a major breakthrough for Oldman. Max Stafford Clark, artistic director of the Royal Court Theatre, had seen Oldman's performance and cast him as Scopy, the lead role of Bond's The Pope's Wedding, in 1984. 6 For his acclaimed performance, he won 2 of British theatre's top honours, the Time Out Fringe Award for Best Newcomer, and the Drama Theatre Award for Best Actor, the latter of which was shared with his future film co-star Anthony Hopkins for his performance in Pravda. 6-13-19 Oldman's turn in The Pope's Wedding led to a run of work with the Royal Court, and from 1984 to 1986 he appeared in Rat in the Skull, Ron Hutchinson, The Desert Heir, Nicholas Wright, Cain and Abel, The Danton Affair, Pam Gems, Women Beware Women, Thomas Middleton, Real Dreams, Trevor Griffiths, and all 3 of Bond's The War plays, Red, Black and Ignorant, The Tin Can People and Great Peace. 6 Oldman was a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company from 1985 to 1986. 20. 1986 to 1993, rise to prominence and breakthrough. The 1984 production of The Pope's Wedding had been seen by the director Alex Cox, who offered Oldman the part of the musician Sid Vicious in the 1986 film Sid and Nancy. He twice turned down the role before accepting it, because, in his own words, I wasn't really that interested in Sid Vicious and the punk movement. I'd never followed it. It wasn't something that interested me. The script I felt was banal and who cares and why bother and all of that. And I was a little bit sort of with my nose in the air and sort of thinking, well, the theater's so much more superior and all of that. He reconsidered based on the salary and the urging of his agent. 21. In 1987 Oldman gained his 3rd starring film role as Joe Orton in Prick Up Your Ears, for which he received a BAFTA nomination for Best Actor. That same year, he appeared in the plays The Country Wife, William Wickerley, and Serious Money, Carol Churchill. 6 The film director Luc Besson told how, on the set of The Fifth Element, 1997, Oldman could recite any scene from Hamlet, William Shakespeare, in which he had starred a decade earlier. 22. Oldman's performances in Sid and Nancy and Prick Up Your Ears paved the way for work in Hollywood, garnering acclaim from the American film critic Roger Ebert. Ebert wrote, "There is no point of similarity between the two performances. Like a few gifted actors, Oldman is able to reinvent himself for every role. On the basis of these two movies, he is the best young British actor around." 23. Vicious former Sex Pistols bandmate John Lydon, despite criticizing Sid and Nancy, described Oldman as a bloody good actor. 24. The performance would go on to be ranked number 62 in Premiere Magazine's 100 Greatest Performances of All Time 25 and number 8 in Uncut Magazine's 10 Best Actors in Rock and Rolls, the latter describing Oldman's portrayal as a hugely sympathetic reading of the punk figurehead as a lost and bewildered man-child. 26. In late 1988 he starred opposite the hero Alan Bates 10 in We Think the World of You, and in 1989 alongside Dennis Hopper and Frances McDormand in The Chattahoochee. Also in 1989, Oldman also starred as the football hooligan Clive Bexbissel in the controversial British television drama The Firm 27, giving a performance that Total Film numbered as his best and called stunning and fearless in 2011. 28. Oldman and other young British actors of the 1980s who were becoming established Hollywood film actors, such as Tim Roth, Bruce Payne, Colin Firth, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Paul McGann, were dubbed the Brit Pack, 29 of which Oldman was de facto leader. 30. In 1990 Oldman co-starred with Tim Roth in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, Tom Stoppard's film adaptation of his own play of the same name. Total Film praised the film, calling Oldman's character a blitz of brilliant comedy timing and pitch-perfect line delivery. 31. He then starred opposite Sean Penn and Ed Harris in State of Grace, 1990. Roger Ebert described Oldman's turn as the highlight. 32. And Janet Maslin referred to his work as phenomenal. 33. He was offered, but turned down, the lead role in that year's Edward Scissorhands. 34. Oldman moved to the United States in the early 1990s, where he has resided since. 35. In 1991 he began filming Dylan Thomas, a biopic on the Welsh poet Dylan Thomas, with his then wife Uma Thurman as Caitlin Thomas. Production shut down shortly after filming began. 36. Later in 1991, Oldman starred in his first U.S. blockbuster, playing Lee Harvey Oswald in Oliver Stone's JFK. According to Oldman, very little was written about Oswald in the script. Stone gave him several plane tickets, a list of contacts, and told him to do his own research. 37. Oldman met Oswald's wife, Marina, and her two daughters to prepare for the role. 38. He filmed scenes for the 1992 neo-noir thriller Final Analysis, which were cut. 39. In 1992 he starred as Count Dracula in Francis Ford Coppola's romance horror Bram Stoker's Dracula. A commercially successful film adaptation of Bram Stoker's 1897 novel 40, it was a box office success worldwide. Oldman's performance was recognized as the best male performance of 1992 by the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy and Horror Films, which awarded Oldman its Best Actor award. 41. He served as a member of the jury at the 1993 Cannes Film Festival. 42. Oldman became a popular portrayer of villains. 19. He played the violent pimp Drexel Spivey in the Tony Scott-directed, Quentin Tarantino-written True Romance, 1993, a role which MSN Movies described as one of cinema's most memorable villains. 43. A sadistic prison warden in Murder in the First, 1995, futuristic corporate tyrant Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg in The Fifth Element, 1997, and Dr. Zachary Smith/Spider Smith in the commercially successful but critically panned Lost in Space, 1998. He was considered for two roles in Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, 1994, but neither were realized. Tarantino contemplated Oldman as the gangster Jules Winfield, played by Samuel L. Jackson, 44, while TriStar executives recommended him for drug dealer Lance, portrayed by Eric Stoltz. 45. 46. 1994 to 2003, established actor. Oldman in 2000. In Leon, the Professional, 1994, he played the corrupt U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration officer Norman Stansfield, which has since been named by multiple publications as one of the best villains 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53 and most corrupt police officers 54, 55, 56 in cinema. He starred as Arthur Dimmesdale in The Scarlet Letter, 1995. Oldman also portrayed various accents, along with the Transylvanian Count Dracula. He gave a critically acclaimed reading of Ludwig van Beethoven in Immortal Beloved 57 and played the Russian terrorist Edgar Korshunov in the 1997 blockbuster Air Force One. In 1998 MTV's Celebrity Deathmatch aired a match between claymation representations of Oldman and Christopher Walken to determine the greatest cinematic villain. 58 The following year, Oldman served as executive producer of Plunkett and Maclean of 59 and portrayed another historical figure, Pontius Pilate, in the television film Jesus. He was also considered for the role of Morpheus in The Matrix. 60. Oldman appeared opposite Jeff Bridges as the zealous American Republican Party Congressman Sheldon Runyon in The Contender, 2000, of which he was also executive producer. 61 Oldman received a Screen Actors Guild Award nomination for his performance, although some claimed he was dissatisfied with DreamWorks' supposed editing of the film to reflect pro-Democratic Party leanings. These reports were declared sloppy sensationalism by his manager, Douglas Urbanski, who said that Oldman was the least political person I know. He stressed that neither he nor Oldman had made the statements attributed to them, that they had produced this film, every last cut and frame, and that DreamWorks did not influence the final cut or have anything to do with it. Urbanski said that Oldman received creepy phone calls advising him that he was ruining his chances of an Oscar nomination. The notion of Oldman criticizing DreamWorks was dispelled as a myth by the film critic Roger Ebert. 62. In 2001 he appeared opposite Anthony Hopkins in Hannibal as Mason Verger, the only surviving victim of Hannibal Lecter. He spent 6 hours per day in the makeup room to achieve the character's disfigured appearance, and went uncredited in the film. 63 It marked the second time that Oldman had appeared opposite Hopkins, who was part of the supporting cast of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Oldman then returned to television, making 2 guest appearances in the popular NBC sitcom Friends in May 2001, appearing in the 2-part episode The One with Chandler and Monica's Wedding as Richard Crosby, a pedantic actor who insists that real actors spit on one another when they enunciate, leading to tension, then friendship, with Joey Tribbiani, Matt LeBlanc. Oldman had previously worked with LeBlanc on Lost in Space. 64 For his performance he earned a nomination for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series, losing to Derek Jacobi for his role on Frasier, 2001. 65. Following his Friends appearance, Oldman did not appear in any major roles until 2004. It was suggested that he was blacklisted in Hollywood during this time. 66 Following the controversy that had surrounded the release of The Contender. In 2002 he starred in the generally well-received Interstate 60, and played the devil in the BMW short film The Hire, Beat the Devil. The Guardian writer Zan Brooks described the early 2000s as Oldman's low point, recalling barrel-scraping roles in the 2003 films Tiptoes and Sin. 67 Although the film failed to impress reviewers, Oldman did garner some praise for his portrayal of a man with dwarfism in Tiptoes. Lisa Ness Elson in Variety described his work as astonishingly fine. 68 And the performance was later mentioned in Mark Kermode's Great Acting in Bad Films. 69. 2004 to 2012, Franchise Roles and Acclaim. Oldman at the 2009 San Diego Comic-Con. In 2004 Oldman returned to prominence when he landed a starring role in the Harry Potter film series, playing Harry Potter's godfather Sirius Black. He made his first appearance in The Prisoner of Azkaban, 2004, to positive reviews, with Kenneth Duran of the Chicago Tribune writing, "Doing especially good work are the key people new to the series." Oldman exhibits a delicacy he hasn't always shown with the character of Sirius Black. 70. He continued to portray him in the films The Goblet of Fire, 2005, The Order of the Phoenix, 2007, The Deathly Hallows Part 2, 2011. The following year, he starred as James Jim Gordon in Christopher Nolan's commercially and critically successful Batman Begins, 2005, a role that he reprised in the sequels The Dark Knight, 2008, and The Dark Knight Rises, 2012. The film critic Mark Kermode, in reviewing The Dark Knight, downplayed claims that Heath Ledger's Joker was the highlight of the film, saying, "The best performance in the film, by a mile, is by Gary Oldman. It would be lovely to see him get an Oscar nomination because actually, he's the guy who gets kind of overlooked in all of this." 71. Oldman co-starred with Jim Carrey in the 2009 version of A Christmas Carol in which Oldman played 3 roles. 72, 73, 74 He had a starring role in David Goyer's supernatural thriller The Unborn, released in 2009. 75 In 2010 Oldman co-starred with Denzel Washington in The Book of Eli. 76 He also played a lead role in Catherine Hardwicke's Red Riding Hood. 77 Oldman voiced the role of villain Lord Shen and was nominated for an Annie Award for his performance in Kung Fu Panda 2. Oldman received strong reviews 78 and earned his first Academy Award nomination and a BAFTA Award nomination for his portrayal of the British spy George Smiley in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, 2011, 79 An adaptation of the John Le Carre novel, directed by Tomasz Alfredson. To prepare for the role of George Smiley, Oldman gained 15 pounds, watched Alec Guinness's performance in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and paid a visit to Smiley's creator John Le Carre to perfect the character's voice. 30 In 2012 Oldman played Floyd Banner, a big-hitting mobster, in John Hillcoat's Lawless, alongside Tom Hardy, Shia LaBeouf, Guy Pearce and Jessica Chastain. The following year, he portrayed Nicholas Wyatt, a ruthless CEO, in Robert Luketic's Paranoia, along with Harrison Ford and Liam Hemsworth. 2013, present, award success. Oldman at the London premiere of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy in 2011. In 2014 Oldman starred alongside Joel Kinnaman, Abbie Cornish, Michael Keaton and Samuel L. Jackson in the remake of RoboCop, as Norton, the scientist who creates the title character. Also that year, Oldman starred in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes as one of the leads alongside Jason Clarke and Kerry Russell. In a promotional interview published in the July/August issue of Playboy magazine, Oldman denounced what he saw as excessive political correctness in American media, alleged discriminating hypocrisy by entertainers who hide behind comedy and satire to say things we can't ordinarily say, and downplayed the convictions behind offensive slurs said by the actors Alec Baldwin and Mel Gibson, attributing their statements to anger and inebriation, respectively. He went on to say that Gibson, who had faced censure for anti-Semitic remarks, had bitten the hand that feeds, being in a town that's run by Jews, referring to Hollywood. Oldman stressed that he is not a fascist or a racist, 80 but was nevertheless criticized for his comments. 81 He issued multiple apologies, including on the June 25 edition of the late-night talk show Jimmy Kimmel Live, where he described the remarks as offensive, insensitive, pernicious, and ill-informed. 82-83 Both the Anti-Defamation League and the Simon Wiesenthal Center welcomed Oldman's contrition, the latter inviting him to its Museum of Tolerance to screen 2017's Darkest Hour. 83-84 The director David Fincher told Playboy, "I know him very well. Gary's not cruel. He's an incredibly thoughtful guy." 85. In 2015 Oldman played the head of police that investigates Tom Hardy's character in Child 44, alongside Noomi Rapace and Joel Kinnaman, and had a supporting role in the post-apocalyptic American thriller Man Down, directed by Dito Montiel, and starring alongside Shia LaBeouf and Kate Mara. In 2016 Oldman played a Central Intelligence Agency chief in Criminal, directed by Ariel Vromen, and starring Kevin Costner, Tommy Lee Jones, Ryan Reynolds, Alice Eve, and Gal Gadot. In 2017, Oldman played 3 film roles: a billionaire entrepreneur in The Space Between Us, an Eastern European dictator in The Hitman's Bodyguard, and the British Prime Minister Winston Churchill in Joe Wright's war drama Darkest Hour. His portrayal of Churchill was critically acclaimed. 86 Oldman's transformation into Churchill took 200 hours in the makeup chair, 14 pounds of silicone rubber, and $20,000 worth of Cuban cigars, which gave him nicotine poisoning. 87-88 In 2018 he won the Academy Award for Best Actor, 89-90 Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama, 91 Critics' Choice Movie Award for Best Actor, 92 Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Actor, 93 and BAFTA Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role. 94 His Golden Globe win came despite Oldman having once been a critic of that award. 95, 96, 97 He said that he was amazed, flattered, and very proud to be nominated. 98 Oldman at the 2018 Cannes Film Festival. In 2018, in his first post-Oscar role, Oldman voiced an evil artificial intelligence in Netflix's independent film Tau and starred in Hunter Killer alongside Gerard Butler. In 2019 Oldman starred in horror thriller Mary, directed by Michael Goy, and the thriller The Courier, opposite Olga Kurylenko. 99 And appeared in Steven Soderbergh's The Laundromat as Jurgen Mossack, opposite Meryl Streep and Antonio Banderas. 100 In 2020 Oldman starred as the Citizen Kane co-writer Herman J. Mankiewicz in David Fincher's biographical drama Black and White Netflix film Mank, which follows Mankiewicz's tumultuous development of the script for Citizen Kane alongside director Orson Welles. 101 The film co-stars Amanda Seyfried, Lily Collins, and Charles Dance. Mank had a limited theatrical release on November 13th, and began streaming on Netflix on December 4th. It received positive reviews, earning 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, with the critics' consensus being, "Sharply written and brilliantly performed, Mank peers behind the scenes of Citizen Kane to tell an old Hollywood story that could end up being a classic in its own right." 102 In 2021 Oldman starred opposite Armie Hammer in Crisis 103 and in Joe Wright's The Woman in the Window, alongside Amy Adams. 104 Oldman was also slated to direct a biopic about Eadweard Muybridge entitled Flying Horse. 105 In 2022, Oldman starred as a cantankerous manager of intelligence agents in the Apple TV Plus spy drama television series Slow Horses, based on the book of the same name. Slow Horses marked the first time Oldman played a lead role in a television series. 106 On November 20, 2022, he stated that the series would likely be his last role as he intended to retire from acting once the series ended. 107 In 2023 he participated in the HBO Max special Harry Potter 20th Anniversary, Return to Hogwarts. 108 That same year he reunited with Christopher Nolan, taking a minor role portraying the US President Harry S. Truman in the biographical epic thriller Oppenheimer. 109 The film is based on the Pulitzer Prize-winning biography American Prometheus, the triumph and tragedy of J. Robert Oppenheimer, and was a critical and financial success. 110 In August 2023 it was confirmed that Oldman would star in Paolo Sorrentino's then untitled film Parthenope, described as a love letter to the city of Naples. 111 The film, in which Oldman portrays the writer John Cheever, was selected to compete for the Palme d'Or at the 2024 Cannes Film Festival, where it had its world premiere on May 21, 2024. 112 113 While it earned a 9.5-minute standing ovation at the end of its screening, 114 the film received overall negative critical reviews. 115 Other work. Filmmaking. In 1997 Oldman directed, produced, and wrote the award-winning Nil by Mouth, a film partially based on his recollections of a child he knew in school. 116 Nil by Mouth went on to win the BAFTA Alexander Korda Award for Best British Film, shared with Douglas Urbanski and Luc Besson, and also the BAFTA Award for Best Screenplay, the Channel 4 Directors Award, and an Empire Award citation needed. In 1999, it was adjudged by the British Film Institute as one of the 100 best British films of the 20th century. 117 Nil by Mouth was listed by Time Out as number 21 of the top 100 best British films. 118. Oldman and producing partner Douglas Urbanski formed the SE8 group to produce Nil by Mouth. The company also produced The Contender, which also starred Oldman. He completed a screenplay, Chang and Eng, co-written with Darren Strauss, based on the author's book of the same name. In September 2006, Nokia N-Series Studio 119 released the Oldman-directed short film Donut, with music by Tor Hyams. The film was shot with an N93 to promote the phone. Juliette Landau made a 25-minute documentary about the making of the video. In 2011, he directed a music video for then-wife Alex Eaton's first single, Kiss Me Like the Woman You Loved. Music. Oldman has had a keen interest in music from an early age. He is a proficient pianist and stated in a 1995 interview with Charlie Rose that he would rather be a musician than an actor. 10 Oldman sang several tracks on the Sid and Nancy soundtrack, on which he performed alongside the original Sex Pistols bassist Glenn Matlock, and sang and played live piano in the 1988 film track 29. He traced over Beethoven compositions in 1994's Immortal Beloved 10 and tutored the Harry Potter actor Daniel Radcliffe on bass guitar. 120 Oldman appeared on Reeves Gabrels's album The Sacred Squall of Now, performing a vocal duet with David Bowie on the track You've Been Around. 121 He produced a live performance by the former White Stripes member Jack White in conjunction with Vivo and YouTube. 122 At the 2016 Brit Awards in London, Oldman paid tribute to Bowie, before receiving the Brits Icon Award on behalf of the singer and his family. 123. Voice acting. Oldman participated in the creation of The Legend of Spyro games, produced by Sierra Entertainment. He provided the voice of the Fire Guardian, Ignitus. He voices Sergeant Victor Reznov and scientist Daniel Clark in the Call of Duty games. He also provides the narration of Sergeant Jack Barnes in the Spearhead expansion for Medal of Honor, Allied Assault. In 2015 he voiced Lord Vortek, the evil mastermind who seeks to control the LEGO multiverse, in the LEGO Dimensions video game. 124 He will play Admiral Ernst Bishop in the upcoming single-player campaign of the Chris Roberts-designed crowd-funded video game, Squadron 42. 125. Writing. In 2015 Oldman and his manager Douglas Urbanski signed a deal with the Simon & Schuster/Atria publishing group label Emily Bisler Books for Blood Riders, a vampire book series. 126. Acting style. Oldman studied the teachings of Konstantin Stanislavski and Stella Adler while at drama school but went off-book, drawing much of his inspiration from American cinema. 14 As a screen actor, Oldman was almost typecast as an antisocial personality early in his career. 45 127 The necessity to express villainous characters in an overtly physical manner led to the cultivation of a big acting style that incorporated projection skills acquired during his stage training. 45 128 He further sought to develop a distinctive approach that would distance him from his stuffy and often interchangeable British peers. 45. Oldman has conceded that his performances often involve an element of overacting. It's my influence on those roles that probably makes them feel bigger than life and a little over the top. I mean, I do go for it a bit as an actor, I must admit. 21. In another interview, he stated, if it's coming from a sincere place, then I think the screen can hold the epic and it can hold the very, very small. 129. Stuart Heritage of The Guardian wrote, finding the definitive Gary Oldman Ham performance is like trying to choose which of your children you prefer. The man is a long-term devotee of the art of Ham. 130. Conversely, Oldman noted that he enjoys playing characters where the silence is loud, such as George Smiley in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, 2011. 67. Oldman has adopted various accents for roles 33 and portrayed a wide range of characters. 1319 He is known for his in-depth research of his roles 131 as well as his devotion to them, at one point being hospitalized after losing significant weight for Sid and Nancy 132 and another time had to hire a dialect coach to relearn his English accent after nearly adopting an American twang due to his children being raised American. 133 In a 2017 interview, he differentiated between immersion and impression. I have a relatively good ear and can do a few impressions of people. I don't study them, but I think what happens with an impressionist is that they're looking at one particular source. Impressionists have to paint with a very broad stroke because you've got to see it within a couple of seconds. As an actor, though, you look at different aspects of a character. I try to completely surround myself with the assignment. It's like being in a big cloud and then some of it rains through. For instance, looking at not only Winston Churchill's way of walking and mannerisms and the way he sounds, but also looking into the psychology. 134. Reception and legacy. Oldman signing autographs for fans in 2007. Oldman has established a cult following among film fans. 135 He is known for playing the primary antagonist in a number of popular motion pictures, 19 which has seen him referenced in popular culture. At the peak of his popularity in the 1990s, Oldman was dubbed by Empire magazine Hollywood's Psycho Deluxe, 136 and was spoofed on popular television shows such as the Fox comedy series In Living Color 137 and MTV Celebrity Deathmatch 58, as well as drafted in to appear on the first ever cover of Loaded magazine. 138 In 1993 he appeared in the music video for Annie Lennox's international hit Love Song for a Vampire, written for the soundtrack to Bram Stoker's Dracula, and had a cameo role as the devil in the video for Guns N' Roses' single Since I Don't Have You. 139 Oldman also played the devil in the 2002 BMW short Beat the Devil, alongside Clive Owen, James Brown, and Marilyn Manson. 140 He starred as a sleazy priest in the controversial religious-themed video for David Bowie's 2013 single The Next Day. 141 142 In contrast to his often dark on-screen roles, Oldman's affable real-life demeanor has been noted. 35 And he was named as one of Empire's 100 sexiest stars in film history in 2007. 143 In 2011 readers of Empire voted him the recipient of the Empire Icon Award, which was presented by Colin Firth. 144. Washington Post and independent writers noted that Oldman is regarded as one of the greatest actors of his generation. 145 In 2012 the Globe and Mail journalist Lynn Crosby wrote, "Critics never fail to single Oldman out. He is one of a few truly great living actors, arguably, even, the best." 146 Of his diversity, Yahoo! Movies noted that he had gained a well-earned reputation as a brilliant chameleon. 13 The Houston Chronicle dubbed Oldman the face of versatility. 147 He is noted for his avoidance of the Hollywood celebrity scene. 148 Often being referred to as an actor's actor. 6 His work has been acclaimed by Hollywood figures. Tom Hardy has described Oldman as his absolute complete and utter hero. 149 And hands down, the greatest actor that's ever lived. 30 Brad Pitt. 150 Daniel Radcliffe. 151 And Ryan Gosling have also cited Oldman as their favorite actor. 152 Hardy recalled Oldman's influence on students at drama school, stating that everybody used to quote him in all of his films. 153 Jessica Chastain. 154 Jennifer Lawrence. 154 Joseph Gordon-Levitt. 155 Tom Hiddleston. 156 And Chris Pine. 157 have also named Oldman as one of their favorite actors. Christian Bale 158, Hugh Jackman 159, Benedict Cumberbatch 160, 161, Shia LaBeouf 162, Ben Mendelsohn 163, Johnny Depp 160, 161, Jason Isaacs 164, and Michael Fassbender 30, 160 have cited Oldman as an influence. Bale called him the reason I'm acting. 165, Anthony Hopkins 15, Ralph Fiennes 166, Keanu Reeves 167, and Ray Winstone 8 have used the term genius in reference to Oldman. John Hurt called him the best of the bunch. 67, Colin Firth hailed him as a very strong candidate for the world's best living actor. 168, new archival link needed and a hero of his. 169, and Alec Baldwin described him as preternaturally gifted and the greatest film actor of his generation. 170, Kristen Scott Thomas referred to Oldman as the most amazing, generous actor. 171, Christopher Eccleston hailed Oldman's Academy Award win for Darkest Hour as massive to people from working-class backgrounds. He remarked, "Oldman is as fine an actor as Daniel Day-Lewis, but Gary is not double-barreled." 172. The directors Luc Besson 22, Tony Scott 35, and Christopher Nolan 173, with whom Oldman has worked, have lauded his work. Besson in 1997 called him one of the top 5 actors in the world, 22, while Scott labeled him a genius. 35, David Cronenberg said that Oldman really is a fabulous actor who gave the best version of Jim Gordon, in Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. 174. Film critics have also been vocal in their appreciation of Oldman. Roger Ebert hailed him as one of the great actors, able to play high, low, crass, noble. 175, while Gene Siskel called him wonderful. 176, and one of his favorite actors. 177, Peter Travers described Oldman as one of the best actors on the planet. 178, prior to his first Academy Award nomination for Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, Oldman was regarded as one of the greatest actors never nominated for the award. 179, 180, in 2009, Lee Singer of The Guardian called him arguably the best actor never Oscar nominated. 181. Before winning for Darkest Hour, he also carried the label of the greatest actor never to win an Oscar. 182, 183, in 2018, Stuart McGurk of GQ described Oldman as the master of being brilliant in bad movies. 184. Oldman at the 2017 Toronto International Film Festival. In 1998, Oldman was honored at the Came-Rimage Film Festival, where he was awarded the Krzysztof Kieslowski Award for acting, the first recipient of the award. 185, in 2011, Oldman received a tribute award from the Gotham Awards. 186, in that same year, the Palm Springs International Film Festival announced that Oldman would be receiving its International Star Award, which honors an actor or actress who has achieved both critical and commercial international recognition throughout their body of work. The CIF chairman called Oldman a performer whose ability to portray the most extreme of characters is a testament to the enormity of his talent. 187, in 2012, The Hollywood Reporter named Oldman the highest-grossing actor in history, based on lead and supporting roles. 188 films in which he has appeared have grossed over $4.1 billion in the United States, and over $11 billion worldwide. 189. In 2012, Oldman was among the British cultural icons selected by the artist Sir Peter Blake to appear in a new version of his most famous artwork, The Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover, to celebrate the British cultural figures of his life that he most admires to mark his 80th birthday. 190. In 2014, he received the Dilys Powell Award for Excellence in Film by the London Film Critics. 191. In 2018, Oldman received the Variety Award at the British Independent Film Awards, which recognizes a director, actor, writer, or producer who has made a global impact and helped to focus the international spotlight on the UK Variety's Vice President, Stephen Gaddis, remarked that Oldman has blazed a path as one of international cinema's most versatile and valued actors. 192. In the same year, the Santa Barbara International Film Festival awarded Oldman the Maltin Modern Master Award, the highest accolade awarded by SPIP that honors an individual who has enriched our culture through accomplishments in the motion picture industry. Leonard Maltin claimed Oldman has once again proven that he is a force to be reckoned with, and a true master of his craft. 193. Oldman was also awarded his first Career Achievement Award by the Hollywood Film Awards. 194. The Makeup Artists and Hairstylists Guild Awards as well honored him with the Distinguished Artisan Award, which IATSE President Susan Cabral Ebert proclaimed him as a chameleon, an actor who changes his appearance, his voice, everything about himself from film to film. 195. Acting credits, accolades and honors. See also, Gary Oldman filmography and list of awards and nominations received by Gary Oldman. Throughout his career, Oldman has received numerous accolades including an Academy Award, 3 British Academy Film Awards, 2 Critics' Choice Movie Awards, a Golden Globe Award, and a Screen Actors Guild Award as well as nominations for 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, and 2 Independent Spirit Awards. Over his career he has been recognized by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences for the following performances. 84th Academy Awards, Best Actor in a Leading Role, nomination for George Smiley in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, 2011. 90th Academy Awards, Best Actor in a Leading Role, win for Winston Churchill in Darkest Hour, 2017. 93rd Academy Awards, Best Actor in a Leading Role, nomination for Herman J. Mankiewicz in Mank, 2020. Oldman was knighted by William, Prince of Wales for services to drama in the 2025 birthday honors. 196. 197. On August 22, 2025, Oldman was honored with a handprint and footprint ceremony at the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood. 198. 199. Personal life. After establishing himself as an actor, Oldman moved to Los Angeles in the United States in the early 1990s. 35. He does not employ a publicist and does not go to parties, telling an interviewer in 2007 that he has dinner at home every night with my kids. 35. In 2014 he described himself as a libertarian. 200. Oldman's alcoholism was well known during the early 1990s. He was arrested for drink driving in 1991. 201 and checked himself into rehabilitation in 1994. 13. 201 In subsequent interviews, he acknowledged his problems with alcohol and called himself a recovering alcoholic in a 2001 interview with Charlie Rose. 202 He has been sober since 1997. 203 and attributes his success in beating his addiction to attending meetings with Alcoholics Anonymous, which he has publicly praised. 204. Marriages and family. Oldman has been married 5 times. He wed the English actress Leslie Manville in 1987, and their son, Alfie, was born the following year. 8. They separated in 1989, 3 months after Alfie's birth, and divorced a year later. 205 Manville stated in 2018 that she and Oldman are on good terms, saying, "He's got a new wife, and we all get on. Gary and I are friends." 206. They have 2 grandchildren, Matilda and Ozzy Oldman, through Alfie. 207. Oldman married the American actress Uma Thurman in 1990, they divorced in 1992. 208. From 1994 to 1996 Oldman was engaged to the Italian actress and model Isabella Rossellini, his co-star in Immortal Beloved. They never wed. 201. In 1997 Oldman married the American model Danya Fiorentino, sister of the actress Linda Fiorentino, 209 with whom he had 2 sons, Gulliver, b. 1997, and Charlie, b. 1999. 8. In 2001, Fiorentino filed for divorce, claiming that Oldman had hit her in the face with a telephone receiver while choking her. 210-211 Oldman was investigated and cleared, receiving sole legal and physical child custody. 212-213 Fiorentino was granted limited, state-supervised contact dependent on her passing drug and alcohol tests. 81-212 In 2003 a judge reduced her access to the children after dismissing claims that Oldman had drugged and physically abused them. 214-215 In 2018 Gulliver, who Fiorentino claimed had witnessed the alleged 2001 assault, lamented the pain and hardship caused by his mother's lies over the years, while specifically condemning the media's disgusting perpetuation of the assault allegation. 216. On December 31, 2008, Oldman married Alexandra Edinburgh, an English singer and actress who was temporarily known as Alex E. 217 in Santa Barbara, California, U.S. 218 Edinburgh filed for divorce on January 9, 2015, the divorce was finalized in September 2015. 219-220. In August 2017 Oldman married Giselle Schmidt, a writer and art curator, in a private ceremony at the home of his manager, Douglas Urbanski. 221 As of 2021, Oldman and Schmidt live in Palm Springs, California. David Kwakuasamo Agyasi/C/1 born January 2, 1980, is an English actor. His films include Cloud Atlas, 2012, and Interstellar, 2014. On television, he is known for his roles in the BBC series White Heat, 2012, and Troy, Fall of a City, 2018, the CW miniseries Containment, 2016, the Amazon Prime series Carnival Row, 2019 to 2023, and the Netflix political thriller The Diplomat, 2023, present. Early life. Gyasi was born January 2, 1980 in Hammersmith, London, one of 7 children to Ashanti Ghanaian parents who had arrived in England in 1966. 234 They nearly divorced when he was young. 5 Gyasi grew up in Fulham and Hayes. He attended Bishop Shalt School and completed his A-levels at East Berkshire College. 6-7 He went on to study drama at Middlesex University. 8. Career. Gyasi landed his first main television role as Jeremy Hans in the 2005 ITV comedy Mike Bassett, Manager, a follow-up to Mike Bassett, England Manager, 2001, and his first major film role that same year in Michael Cotton-Jones' Shooting Dogs. Gyasi appeared alongside Kit Harington in the 2008 National Theatre production of War Horse. In 2012, Gyasi starred in the science fiction film Cloud Atlas as a Moriori slave called Ochua. His inaccurate casting caused controversy for perpetuating false stereotypes about Moriori people. 9-10 He then played young Victor, played by Hugh Quarshie later in the character's life, in the BBC Two historical drama White Heat. This was followed by roles in the BBC One television film The Whale, 2013, and Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, 2014, the latter of which earned him a Black Reel Award nomination for Best Breakthrough Performance. Gyasi was cast as the lead of The Interceptor, also on BBC One, but had to drop out due to a heel injury. The role was taken over by O.T. Fagbanal. 11. Gyasi starred as Major Alex Lex Carnahan in 2016 the CW miniseries Containment. He went on to portray Achilles in the 2018 BBC and Netflix adaptation of the Iliad, titled Troy, Fall of a City. From 2019 to 2023, he starred as Agrius in the Amazon Prime fantasy series Carnival Row. 12 He also led the Western film Hell on the Border. 13 and appeared in Cold Blood, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and Come Away. He had a recurring role as Ben Chambers in Series 3 of The A-Word. Since 2023 he has played British Foreign Secretary Austin Dennison in the Netflix series The Diplomat. Personal life. Gyasi began dating his wife Emma, née Laud, during 6th form at East Berkshire College. They had their first child, a daughter Elena, born 1999, she is now an actress. 14 The couple married that year and later had their second child, a son Nathaniel. 8 The family settled in a Buckinghamshire village. 15 Gyasi is a practicing Anglican. Hunter Killer is a 2018 American action thriller film starring Gerard Butler and Gary Oldman. Based on the 2012 novel Firing Point by Don Keith and George Wallace, the film follows a submarine crew and a group of United States Navy SEALs who rescue the captured Russian president from a coup. Directed by Donovan Marsh and written by Arne Schmidt and Jamie Moss, it features Michael Nyqvist, in his penultimate film role, Common, Linda Cardellini and Toby Stephens in supporting roles. Hunter Killer was released in the United States on October 26, 2018, by Summit Premiere. The film bombed at the box office and received mixed reviews from critics, who saw it as an undemanding, by-the-numbers actioner. 4. Plot. The U.S. Los Angeles-class submarine USS Tampa Bay disappears while shadowing the Russian Akula-class submarine RFS Konek, in the Barents Sea. Rear Admiral John Fisk orders the newly promoted and unconventional Commander Joe Glass to lead the investigation on board the Virginia-class submarine USS Arkansas. At the same time, Lieutenant Bill Beeman leads a Navy SEAL team on a covert mission to observe a Russian naval base in Polyarny, Murmansk Oblast. At the base, the SEALs witness Defense Minister Admiral of the Fleet Dmitry Durov staging a coup d'état and capturing Russian President Nikolai Zakharin. They quickly realize that Durov's intention is to instigate a war. The SEALs narrowly avoid detection during a radio intercept check by the Russians, but Martinelli is shot in the leg by a Russian officer who blindly fires at their concealed position. Consequently, the team is forced to leave him behind. Meanwhile, Arkansas makes a distressing discovery as they come across the wreckage of Tampa Bay, with no survivors found. Additionally, they stumble upon the sunken Russian submarine Konek, which appears to have been damaged from within, indicating possible internal sabotage rather than an external attack. Their situation takes a turn for the worse when they are ambushed by another Russian submarine, the Akula-class submarine RFS Volkov, which had been concealed beneath an iceberg. It becomes evident that Volkov was responsible for the unprovoked torpedoing of Tampa Bay. However, Arkansas manages to retaliate and successfully rescues the Russian survivors from Konek, including their commanding officer, Captain 2nd Rank Sergei Andropov. The U.S. government uncovers the coup, leading Admiral Charles Donegan to recommend war preparations. However, Fisk suggests that Arkansas should rendezvous with Beeman's team once they rescue Zakharin. Glass persuades the hesitant Andropov to provide assistance and must also convince his crew to accept Andropov's presence and trust him. Utilizing Andropov's expertise in navigating the challenging underwater terrain and the minefield guarding the base, Glass successfully guides Arkansas near the base undetected. Beeman's team manages to save Oleg, an agent of the Russian Presidential Security Service, who was previously shot while protecting Zakharin by Durov's men. They work together to infiltrate the base and successfully retrieve President Zakharin, but lose Oleg, Devin Hall, and Matt Johnstone in the process. With Martinelli providing sniper cover, Beeman brings the injured president to Arkansas's deep submergence rescue vehicle and then returns alone to rescue Martinelli. As the U.S. and Russian fleets prepare for battle, Arkansas suffers more damage when it is attacked by the Udaloy-class destroyer RFS Yevchenko, Andropov's old ship, which is now under the command of Captain Vlad Sutriv, a member of Durov's conspiracy. However, Andropov manages to convey a message to the Yevchenko that President Zakharin is on board the submarine. When Durov instructs his forces at the base to fire missiles at the surfaced Arkansas, Glass refuses to take action, realizing that retaliating could initiate the war he is trying to prevent. In the final moments, Andropov's former crew disobey orders and successfully destroy the incoming missiles with their close-in weapons system before they can hit the Arkansas. They then proceed to destroy the naval base headquarters with their own missiles, killing Durov. With the war avoided, Glass docks the Arkansas at the Russian naval base to return Zakharin and the surviving Konek crew members to their country. The Arkansas picks up Beeman and Martinelli and leaves Polyarny, escorted by the Russian Navy. Cast: Gerard Butler as Commander Joe Glass, Captain USS Arkansas. Gary Oldman as CJCS Charles Dunnigan. Common as RADM John Fisk. Michael Nyqvist as Captain Andropov, RFS Konek. Linda Cardellini as Jane Norquist, National Security Agency. David Gyasi as Cobb Wallach, USS Arkansas. Shane Taylor as TMC Turner, USS Arkansas. Sarah Middleton as Liddy, Radio Operator, USS Arkansas. Gabriel Chavarria as Jimenez, DSRV Pilot, USS Arkansas. Ryan McPartlin as Matt Johnstone, U.S. Navy SEAL. Carter McIntyre as LT. Commander Brian Edwards, XO USS Arkansas. Zane Holtz as Paul Martinelli, U.S. Navy SEAL. Taylor John Smith as Belford, ST, USS Arkansas. Michael Trucco as Devin Hall, U.S. Navy SEAL. Michael Gore as Admiral Dmitry Durov, Minister of Defense. Alexander Dyachenko as President Zakharin. Igor Jijikin as Treshik, Russian Special Forces. Yuri Kolokonikov as Oleg, Presidential Security. Ilya Volok as Captain Vlad Sutriv, RFS Yevchenko. Caroline Goodall as President Dover. Toby Stevens as Bill Beeman, U.S. Navy SEAL. Christopher Go as Navigator Park, USS Arkansas. Production: Relativity Media first purchased the spec script, written by Arne Schmidt and adapted from the novel Firing Point, in 2008. Pierre Morel was in talks to direct. 5 In February 2011, Variety reported that Philip Noyce was hired to direct the film. John Kalvenbach and Jamie Moss provided rewrites to the script. The latter's rewrites was what interested Noyce to direct. 6 Production was set to begin at the end of the year before Noyce left the project, citing similarities between other films that he previously helmed, and moved on to films like Above Suspicion. 7 Antoine Fuqua was later hired to replace him, and a release date was set for December 21, 2012. 8 Gerard Butler was cast as Joe Glass and Sam Worthington was considered for Bill Beeman. 9 Fuqua and Butler later left production to work on Olympus Has Fallen, and the film remained in development hell as directors like Mick G and Stephen Quayle passed on the film. 10-11 Gerard Butler eventually returned to the film as Martin Campbell was chosen to direct. Common, Billy Bob Thornton, and Willem Dafoe were added to the cast, and Peter Craig provided uncredited rewrites. 12-13-14 On November 12, 2015, it was announced that a deal between producers of the film had been made, that Relativity, Neil H. Moritz, and Toby Jaffe's original film would now produce the film along with Millennium Films, which would also co-finance and distribute. 15 On March 3, 2016, it was announced that Donovan Marsh would direct the film and Gerard Butler and Gary Oldman would star, with original films Neil H. Moritz and Toby Jaffe producing the film along with Butler, Thule Productions Tucker Thule, Alan Siegel, and Millennium's Mark Gill, John Thompson, Matt O'Toole and Leigh Weldon. 16 On June 23, 2016, Taylor John Smith was cast in the film to play a sonar man on the sub. 17 On July 6, 2016, Gabriel Chavarria joined the film to play a Navy SEAL aboard the U.S. submarine 18. Next day, Zane Holtz also joined the film to play Martinelli, a brave and skilled member of the elite unit. 19 On July 13, 2016, Michael Trucco and Ryan McPartlin also came aboard to play a weapons specialist Devin Hall, and an ex-SEAL and CIA medic Matt Johnstone, respectively. 20 On July 19, 2016, Michael Nyqvist was added to the cast to play Captain Sergei Andropov. 21 On July 21, 2016, David Gyasi joined the film to play the chief of the boat of the submarine USS Omaha 22, with Toby Stevens cast to play LT Beeman, head of the Black Ops Squad. 23 On August 4, 2016, Linda Cardellini joined the cast. 24. Principal photography on the film began on July 25, 2016, in London, and in Bulgaria. 1625 Interior sets of a Virginia-class hunter-killer submarine were built at Ealing Studios, using blueprints approved by the U.S. Navy, with the spaces expanded slightly to allow freer camera movement. The sets were mounted on a gimbal to simulate the movement of the sea. Ealing also hosted a Pentagon set from where U.S. military personnel tracked the submarine action. The former Legal and General Building in Kingswood, Surrey, UK was also utilized as a part of the Pentagon. Although the heroes of the movie are portrayed as U.S. Navy SEALs, the costuming department for the movie used commercially available uniforms in ATAC's FG Camouflage 26, which is not a pattern in use by the U.S. Navy. 27. An exterior set of the main hunter-killer submarine was built in Pinewood Studios' 806,000-gallon exterior water tank, while underwater scenes were shot using a separate water tank at Warner Brothers Studios, Leavesden, also just outside London. Interiors of the Russian base were built as sets at New Boyana Film Studios in Bulgarian capital, Sofia. 28. Release. The film was released in the United States on October 26, 2018, by Lionsgate through the Summit Premiere label. It was released in several territories, including the United Kingdom, the week before on October 19, 2018. 29. In Ukraine, the film was scheduled to premiere on October 25, but the Ukraine Ministry of Culture denied it an exhibition license based on a 2012 law on cinematography that banned the distribution and screening of films, the goal of which is to popularize the bodies of an aggressor state and/or Soviet state security organs. According to a representative of the Ukrainian State Film Agency, Držkino, screening the film would be illegal because it contains a positive image of the Russian president and admiral of the Russian army. 30 Ukrainian-Russian relations have deteriorated since the 2014 Russian annexation of Crimea. 31. In Russia, the film was scheduled to premiere on November 1, but the film failed to obtain an exhibition license from the Culture Ministry. 31. The ministry stated that the copy of the movie submitted by the distributor for review was of poor quality and the replacement was submitted too late for the ministry to review it in time. 31. Home media. Hunter Killer was released on digital on January 15, 2019, and on Ultra HD Blu-ray and DVD on January 29, 2019, by Lionsgate Home Entertainment. 32. Reception. Box office. Hunter Killer grossed $15.8 million in the United States and Canada, and $15.9 million in other territories, for a total worldwide gross of $31.7 million. 2-3. In the United States and Canada, Hunter Killer was released alongside Indivisible and Johnny English Strikes Again, and was projected to gross $5 to $9 million from 2,720 theaters in its opening weekend. 33. The film made $2.6 million on its first day, including $420,000 from Thursday night previews. 34. It went on to debut to $6.7 million, finishing 5th at the box office and marking the worst debut for Butler since Playing for Keeps, $5.8 million, in 2012. 1. The film made $3.5 million in its second weekend, falling to 9th. 35. Critical response. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 38% based on 115 reviews, with an average score of 4.7/10. The website's critical consensus reads, much like the submarine in its story, Hunter Killer cruises the murky action depths, following a perfunctory course into territory that's been charted many times before. 36. On Metacritic, The film has a weighted average score of 43 out of 100, based on 28 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 37 audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of A on an A+ to F scale, while post-track reported filmgoers gave it 4 out of 5 stars. 1. Bill Jebari of VULTour.com wrote, "Hunter Killer won't win any awards for originality, but it may win a couple for the brazenness with which it stacks cliches upon cliches. Basically, it's Crimson Tide meets Lone Survivor meets Under Siege meets a Russian variation on Olympus Has Fallen, with a bit of Geostorm thrown in. At least 3 of those movies are pretty good, so the overall math works in the film's favor." 38. Norman Wilner of Toronto's now accused Marsh of ripping off John McTiernan's The Hunt for Red October and stated that the constant agitation and bone-deep respect for all things military is straight out of Clancy's playbook, but there's no Jack Ryan figure to humanize it all. Gerard James Butler, born November 13, 1969, is a Scottish actor and film producer. After studying law, he turned to acting in the mid-1990s with small roles in productions such as Mrs. Brown, 1997, the James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies, 1997, and Tale of the Mummy, 1998. In 2000, he starred as Count Dracula in the gothic horror film Dracula 2000. He played Attila the Hun in the miniseries Attila, 2001, then appeared in the films Reign of Fire, 2002, and Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, 2003, before starring in the science fiction film Timeline, 2003. He played Eric, the Phantom in Joel Schumacher's 2004 musical The Phantom of the Opera. Butler gained wider recognition for his portrayal of King Leonidas in Zack Snyder's fantasy war film 300, 2006. In 2010, he began lending his voice to the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. Also in the 2010s, he portrayed a Secret Service agent in the action thriller Has Fallen film series. One played military leader Tullus Aufidius in the 2011 film Coriolanus, and Sam Childers in the 2011 action biopic Machine Gun Preacher. Butler had further action film roles in Geostorm, 2017, Den of Thieves, 2018, Greenland, 2020, and Plane, 2023. Early life. Gerard James Butler II was born in Paisley, Scotland on November 13, 1969, the youngest of 3 children of Margaret and Edward Butler, a bookmaker. 456 His family, which is Catholic, is of Irish descent. 7-8 His family moved to Montreal, Quebec, Canada, when he was 6 months old. 9-10 A year later, when his parents' marriage broke down, his mother left Montreal and returned to Scotland with Butler. 11. Butler was head boy at St. Mirren's and St. Margaret's High School in Paisley and won a place at University of Glasgow School of Law. 12-13 He also attended Scottish Youth Theatre while a teenager. He did not see his father again until he was 16, when Edward Butler called to meet him at a Glasgow restaurant. After the meeting, Butler cried for hours, and recalled later, "That emotion showed me how much pain can sit in this body of yours, pain and sorrow that you don't know you have until it is unleashed." 11. As a student, he was the president of the University Law Society. 14 A position he later said he kind of blagged my way into. 3 When Butler was 22, his father was diagnosed with cancer and died. He said of this period in his life, "I had gone from a 16-year-old who couldn't wait to grasp life to a 22-year-old who didn't care if he died in his sleep." 15. Before his final year of law school, Butler took a year off to live in California, mostly in Venice Beach, where he held different jobs, traveled often, and, he says, drank heavily. At one point he was arrested for alcohol-related disorderly conduct. Describing his behavior during that year, he recalled, "I was out of control, and justifying it with this idea that I'm young, this is life. This is me just being boisterous." After his time off in America, he returned to Scotland to finish his final year at law school. 3. He had ear surgery as a child that left him with a mangled ear. He still suffers from tinnitus and has hearing loss in his right ear. 16. Career. Legal career and early acting career. Upon graduation, he took a position as a trainee lawyer at an Edinburgh law firm. However, he continued to stay out late drinking and frequently missed work. 1 week before he qualified as a lawyer, he was fired. At the age of 25,